record. Alrighty, so let's take a look at lesson 2. So for lesson 2, we have our root, which is photo. And photo is kind of a word that we know already. We're pretty familiar with that word. But that root photo means light. So if we look at our 5 vocabulary words for our root, we have the word photocopy, which means a paper copy of a document or a picture that's made with a special machine, like a copier or a photocopy. This page right here that you're looking at, this is a photocopy. I made this on the copy machine. I stuck the original in the machine, and the machine made me a photocopy. Our second word is photograph, so a picture that's made by a camera. It's also called a photo. So when you take a picture with your phone or with a camera, it's a photograph. Photon, we're going to get kind of sciencey here. Photon is a tiny particle of light or electromagnetic radiation. So scientists discovered that light is made up of little tiny particles called photons. And then our next word is photosynthesis. Again, we're going to be a little bit sciencey, and this is kind of a tough word, photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which a green plant turns water and carbon dioxide into food when the plant is exposed to light. So when your plants are in the sunlight, inside the plant, it is turning water and an element called carbon dioxide, or a compound called carbon dioxide, into food. So it's taking the light energy, water, and carbon dioxide, and mixing it around inside of itself and turning it into food. So the last word for our root for photo is the word telephoto. So telephoto is a kind of lens for a camera that makes faraway objects appear to be closer. So people like sports photographers will use telephoto lenses. They can stand off in like the stadium and take pictures of the athletes as they're playing. And it looks like they're really close, even though they're really far away. A lot of like nature photographers will do that too, because sometimes if you get too close to a wild animal, they run away, they get scared. But if you have a telephoto lens, then you can stand really far away and you can still see that animal in your photo as if you were standing really close to it. Next, we have our prefixes. We have 3 prefixes, im, in, and ill. They all mean not. They're kind of like the opposite, or not. First, we have incapable, so not able to do something, or not having the necessary skill or ability to perform a specific act or function. So it basically means that you're just not able, like somebody isn't able to do something. For example, like the injured bird is now incapable of flight. The bird is injured, it can't fly. Ineligible means that you're not allowed to do or be something. You might be legally disqualified. So, for example, McDonald's employees are ineligible to play the McDonald's Monopoly game. It means they're not allowed to play it since they work there. Imbalance is a state or condition in which different things do not occur in equal or proper amounts. So like an imbalance of power, or if there are more boys than girls in a class, we may see that there is an imbalance of boys and girls because there's more of one than the other. If you go to the pound and there are more cats than there are dogs, they may say that there's an imbalance of cats and dogs because there's more than one than the other. Next is illiterate. Illiterate means not knowing how to read or write, or having or showing a lack of knowledge about a particular subject. So if you didn't know how to read, you might be called illiterate. But also, not even just with reading, if you didn't know, say that you don't know a lot about astrophysics. I don't think any of us know a lot about astrophysics. We're all illiterate in astrophysics because we don't know anything about it. So that just means that you don't have the knowledge base. You don't have the background knowledge for it. Whereas if I were to ask you if you were literate or illiterate in the alphabet and knowing the letters of the alphabet, You all know the letters of the alphabet. You're not illiterate when it comes to the alphabet. The last word is illogical. It's not thinking about things in a reasonable or sensible way. So I like the sentence that it gives us. The idea that I'd have time to do 4 hours of homework on a day when I have a football game is completely illogical. So it just means that it's not reasonable. So that this next page has 2 activities you can choose from. These are 2 activities that you can choose from for your independent practice, but we're not going to look at these pages. We are, however, going to look at our activity 2 page. Oops, I just hit my laptop there. So let me pull this up really quick. So we are going to look at 2B and 2C, okay? And I don't have enough space, like my camera doesn't zoom in enough for me to be able to show both of these. I wish it did, but that's okay. So for part B, it says which word does not belong. So we're going to choose the word that is not related to our vocabulary word. So if we have the word photocopy, which of these 4 words doesn't belong? It's not really related. Printer, paper, markers, or reproduction. And remember, a photocopy is like a copy of something. Somebody made a copy of it. Does anybody have any idea what word might not belong? Let's see, McKenna, what do you think?
Markers?
You are absolutely right. Markers does not belong. Markers does not belong. It has nothing to do with a photocopy. Printer, in order to make a photocopy, you need a printer. In order to make a photocopy, you do need paper because it prints on paper. And a photocopy can also be called a reproduction. You made it again. Let's look at the next one. The word is photograph. We have picture, camera. When this says cheese, it doesn't mean like cheese, like cheddar cheese. It means like somebody, since there's quotation marks around it, it means somebody is saying cheese. And last is copy. Which of those 4 words doesn't belong, doesn't have anything to do with photograph? If you're not comfortable sharing it out loud, you can always drop your answer A, B, C, or D into the chat box. So I'd love to hear from everybody. Any ideas? McKenna, I see that your hand is up, but I want to see if anybody else wants to share too, and then I'll come to you, okay? Since you just got to share an answer. Damien, what do you think?
Cheese?
I could see how you think that, but let's think of it this way. Do you see those little quotation marks around cheese? So when we see that, it doesn't mean like cheese, like the cheese that might be in your refrigerator. It means like somebody is saying cheese. If you think about when you take a picture of somebody, sometimes you tell them, say cheese, and then they smile because they're saying cheese, and then their mouth opens. So cheese does kind of belong. There's one word though that doesn't belong. Does anybody pick up on which word that might be? McKenna, help us out.
Copy.
Copy, very good. So in order to take a photograph, or a photograph is also called a picture, you need a camera. And when you take a photograph of someone, you often tell them, say cheese. So these 3 words all kind of have to do with a photograph. Copy, not necessarily. If we were talking about photocopy, yeah, but not necessarily copy. Let's look at number 13. We have the word photon. Remember, this is one of our sciencey words. So telescope, science, light, radiation. This one might be a little bit tricky. Remember, a photon is like a piece of light. It's a particle of light. Any ideas? Zarella, I'd seen your hand up. Did you want to volunteer an answer for this one? No ideas? That's okay. This one's kind of tough because it's our super sciencey word. So let's think about it. So photon, remember, is like a particle of light. Telescope I'm not sure. I don't know what telescope might have to do with particles of light. So we'll see. We'll hold on to that one. Next is science. Well, photons have to do with science. So photons do have to do with science. Oh, Damien, did you have an idea? What's your idea, Damien? What do you think?
Telescope?
You're absolutely right, Damien. It is telescope. Since photons have to do with science, photons are particles of light, and photons are also particles of radiation. So telescope doesn't really have anything to do with photons. Great job, Damien. Next, we have the word illiterate. Remember, illiterate means that you can't, like, you not able to read or write, or you don't have a knowledge base about something. So let's see, we have reading, desk, inability, and uneducated. Remember, if you're illiterate or if somebody is illiterate, they can't read or write, or they just don't know about a topic. Like how I'm illiterate when it comes to astrophysics. I don't know anything about astrophysics. Damien, I see you have your hand up, but hold on for just a second. I want to see if anybody else has any thoughts. Zarel, I saw your hand up, Zarel. Oops, sorry, I clicked on Damien. Hold on. Zarel, what do you think, my friend?
Logical?
We're looking at the word illiterate. So which of these four words, reading, desk, inability, or uneducated, doesn't belong with this word? So we're not looking at this part yet. We're not looking at these words. Only these ones. Which of these four words doesn't have anything to do with the word illiterate? Do you have thoughts, Zarel? Any ideas? Remember, if somebody
I can't hear you.
if something is illiterate or someone is illiterate, remember it means that they don't know how to read or don't know how to write, or they don't know about something, like how I don't know about astrophysics. So our words are reading, desk, inability, and uneducated. Which of these four words doesn't have anything to do with illiterate? Do you have any ideas, Darrell?
Paper.
That's not one of our words, so let's think about that again, okay? I see Adrian's hand is up. Adrian, what do you think? It sounded like you said desk. Did you say desk? Okay, I thought so. You broke up a little bit there. You're absolutely right, Adrian. It is desk, right? So remember, when we're talking about something or somebody being illiterate, means that they don't know how to read, or they might not know how to read. They have an inability to do something. They can't do something because they don't know how to do it. Or they're uneducated. They're not educated in that particular field. Like how I'm uneducated in astrophysics. I'm not an astrophysicist, I'm a teacher. And our last one, illogical. Remember, illogical means, let me look back at my word list. Illogical means like not thinking about something in a reasonable way. So our words are wacky, senseless, foundation, and false. Which of those four words means something similar to illogical? What do you think, McKenna?
False. False. Sorry.
That's okay. You're close. I do see how you could think it might be false.
Oh, is it senseless?
Not quite. You're getting closer then. It's okay. It's totally okay. Any other ideas, anybody? No, that Damien. All right, let's hear it, Damien. What do you think?
Foundation?
Foundation. You're absolutely correct. So remember that illogical means that something like isn't reasonable. So if something is illogical, it might be wacky. If something is illogical, it might also be senseless. It may also be false. But foundation doesn't really have anything to do with that. Like the foundation of your house has nothing to do with illogical. Foundation of your house is actually a pretty logical thing. It's very reasonable. You need that. Let's take a look at our next section that we're going to do together. Actually, it looks like we are just about out of time. So since we didn't get to part C and part B, you do not have to do those, okay? So you don't have to do them if you don't want to. If you would like to finish part C and then part B from the next side, you can. So you will need to, however, look at any of the other parts that we didn't do. So like part A, and then part A on the other side, part A and part B on this page, and part A, B, and C on this page, and you're going to choose 3 activities to do. So like you could choose adding prefixes, you could choose understand words, and you could choose fill in the blanks. Any of the 3 that we didn't do today, okay? Any of the 3 we didn't do today. The 2 that we didn't get to today, that we didn't finish today, that is totally fine that we didn't finish those. You may do those if you would like to, but you do not have to finish them, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my sharing so I can see all your pretty faces. So that is all that I have for you today. Y'all are doing fantastic. I know that some of these words are kind of tricky. I know that they're hard, but you guys are doing great. So proud of all of you. Great job. And I love the participation that I'm seeing. I would love to see even more participation. I want to see everybody getting involved and not just me talking, because I don't need to talk the whole time. I don't need to do that. Alrighty, so that is all that I have for y'all today. I will see you all tomorrow for math in the morning. If for some reason I don't see you, I will see you at some point tomorrow. So as always, you are correct, McKenna. We are not doing the true or false part. If you want to do that, if you want to add that into your independent practice, you absolutely can. But it's completely up to you. So that is all that I have for you guys. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you, Damien. You reminded me. I knew I could count on you to do that. I do have a word for you today. Let me turn my screen so you can see it because I have it written behind me. Your word today is inspire. So please make sure that you write the word inspire. There it is. Inspire at the top of your page. And big thank you to Damien for reminding me of that. I completely forgot about that one for today. I wrote it up there, but I forgot to write it on my paper. I'll type that into the chat as well so you can all see how to spell it there too. Please make sure that you write the word inspire somewhere on your page. As always, if you have any questions or run into any problems, please let me know or let Miss Sally know. We are here to help as much as we can. In fact, it is our job. We love to help. So please reach out and let us know if you have any questions or run into any problems. And I will see all of y'all tomorrow. Have a fantastic day, everybody.